Ladies and gentlemen, stress has a way of gripping us, doesn't it? It can weigh you down, rob you of joy, and even make you question your path. But let me remind you today of a simple truth: you were never designed to carry the weight of the world on your shoulders. There is a higher power, a divine hand, that is far stronger, far wiser, and far more capable than we could ever imagine. Stress doesn't mean weakness, it means humanity, but God is your ultimate strength. Stress is a natural response to the challenges, uncertainties, and burdens of life. It's part of what makes us human. Feeling overwhelmed, tired, or even defeated at times is not a reflection of failure, it's a reflection of the weight you're carrying. But the beauty of our humanity is that we are not called to bear this weight alone. The same God who breathed life into you, who set the stars in the heavens, and who knows the depths of your soul, stands ready to carry what you cannot. You see, stress is not the enemy, it's a sign, a signal that you're trying to handle too much on your own. And isn't that what we often do? We think we have to figure everything out, solve every problem, and fight every battle with our own strength. But here's the truth: your strength alone was never meant to sustain you. That's where God steps in. God's strength is limitless, boundless, and unmatched. When you come to the end of yourself, that's where his power begins. It's in those moments of brokenness and weariness that his divine presence shines the brightest. Stress may bend you, but it won't break you when you lean on him. He is the ultimate source of strength, a foundation that cannot be shaken. Think of it this way: life's challenges are not meant to crush you, they are meant to draw you closer to God. Stress reminds us of our dependence on him. It's an opportunity to lay down the burden and say, God, I can't do this alone, but I know you can. And when you do that, when you release control and place your trust in his hands, you'll discover a strength that goes beyond understanding. God doesn't promise that life will be free of stress, but he promises to walk with you through it. He promises to give you the strength to endure, the wisdom to navigate, and the peace to keep moving forward. Stress may be part of your humanity, but God's strength is part of your divine inheritance. It's a gift freely given, but it requires faith to receive. So the next time stress tries to overwhelm you, pause and remember, it's not a sign of failure. It's a call to lean on the one who holds the universe in his hands. God's strength is available to you, not because you're perfect, but because you're his. And in that truth lies a power greater than any stress you'll ever face. Faith in God is trust in action, release control, and embrace peace. Faith is more than a feeling or a belief, it is a decision, an active choice to place your confidence in God, even when circumstances seem uncertain or overwhelming. Faith is not passive, it requires you to step forward, even when you can't see the entire path ahead. Trust in God means releasing the need to control every detail of your life and surrendering to his divine wisdom and timing. Holding on to control often feels like the safer option. We think that if we plan enough, worry enough, or act fast enough, we can solve all our problems. But the truth is, control is an illusion. The more we try to hold on, the more stressed and burdened we become. Faith invites us to take a different approach. It says, let go and let God. It is a powerful act of trust to say, God, I don't have all the answers, but I trust that you do. Releasing control is not giving up, it's giving over. It's acknowledging that God sees the bigger picture and that his plans are far better than anything we can imagine. When you stop trying to manage every detail and instead place your concerns in his hands, you create space for peace to enter. This peace doesn't come from the absence of problems, it comes from the presence of God. True peace is not something you create by fixing your circumstances. It is something you receive when you trust in God's care. It's the calm assurance that no matter what happens, you are not alone. God is with you, guiding, protecting, and providing. Trusting him allows you to rest even in the midst of uncertainty. Faith shifts your focus from fear to hope, from anxiety to assurance. It's important to understand that embracing peace doesn't mean ignoring your responsibilities or challenges. Instead, it means approaching them with the confidence that God is in control. You do your part, but you leave the outcomes to him. This trust frees you from the constant cycle of worry and allows you to live with a lighter heart and a clearer mind. Faith in God requires courage, but it rewards you with peace. It transforms stress into surrender and fear into freedom. By releasing control and trusting in His perfect plan, you align yourself with the divine power that is greater than any obstacle. And in that alignment, you find a peace that truly surpasses all understanding. Surrender is not defeat, it's giving your burdens to a power greater than yourself. Often, when we hear the word surrender, it conjures images of giving up or admitting failure. However, in the context of faith and trust, surrender takes on a profoundly different meaning. It is not about relinquishing hope or abandoning effort, rather, it is about recognizing that there is a higher power capable of handling what we cannot manage on our own. Life is filled with challenges that can seem insurmountable. Whether it's personal struggles, financial difficulties, health issues, or relationship problems, the weight of these burdens can become overwhelming. In these moments, surrendering doesn't mean you are weak or incapable. Instead, it signifies a deep trust in a power greater than yourself, a belief that you are not alone in your struggles and that there is a divine plan at work. Surrendering your burdens means letting go of the need to control every aspect of your life. It involves acknowledging that while you may have the strength to face your challenges, there is a higher wisdom that can guide you through them. This act of letting go is not passive resignation, but an active decision to place your trust in something greater. It is about understanding that you don't have to carry the weight of the world by yourself and that there is support available to help you bear your burdens. When you surrender your burdens, you create space for peace and clarity to enter your life. Instead of being consumed by worry and stress, you allow yourself to experience the comfort that comes from knowing that your challenges are being handled by a higher power. This shift in perspective can transform how you approach difficulties. Instead of seeing them as obstacles to overcome alone, you view them as opportunities for growth and deepening your faith. Moreover, surrendering your burdens fosters resilience and inner strength. By trusting that a greater power is at work, you empower yourself to face adversity with courage and hope. It reminds you that you are not defined by your struggles, but by your ability to rise above them with the help of a divine source. This trust can provide the motivation to keep moving forward, even when the path is unclear. In essence, surrender is an act of faith. It is a recognition that you are part of something larger than yourself and that your life is guided by a purpose beyond your immediate understanding. By giving your burdens to a power greater than yourself, you embrace a profound sense of freedom and assurance. You allow yourself to be supported and uplifted, knowing that you do not have to face life's challenges alone. This surrender transforms stress into trust, fear into faith, and burden into liberation, enabling you to live with a lighter heart and a steadfast spirit. God is already working on your trials. Trust His plan, even when it's unseen. Life often brings seasons of uncertainty where challenges seem to mount and solutions feel distant. In these moments, it's easy to question whether things will ever improve or if anyone truly understands the depth of your struggles. But even when you can't see the outcome, even when the path ahead feels shrouded in doubt, you can hold firm to this truth: God is already at work. His plan is unfolding in ways you may not yet comprehend. Trusting God's plan requires faith that goes beyond your immediate circumstances. It asks you to believe that there is a purpose behind the trials you face, even when that purpose is not immediately clear. God's timing and methods are not always aligned with our own expectations, but they are always perfect. What feels like a delay to us is often the necessary period of preparation, growth, and refinement. While you may not yet see the fruits of His work, He is orchestrating every detail for your good and His greater purpose. Imagine a tapestry being woven. Up close, it might look chaotic with threads crossing in no discernible pattern. But step back and you begin to see the beauty of the design. This is how God works in your life. The trials and hardships that seem random and senseless are actually threads in a masterpiece He is crafting. Trusting Him means allowing yourself to be patient and faithful as the design is revealed. There is immense peace in trusting God's unseen work. When you shift your focus from the weight of your trials to the certainty of His presence, you gain a renewed sense of strength. Trust doesn't mean you have all the answers. It means you rest in the assurance that God does. It allows you to move forward even in uncertainty because you know that the one who holds your future is guiding your steps. Moreover, trusting God's plan transforms how you perceive challenges. Instead of viewing them as obstacles meant to defeat you, you begin to see them as opportunities for growth and transformation. Each trial becomes a chance to deepen your faith, to rely more fully on God's strength, and to witness His power in action. What feels like a setback today may be the very thing that leads you to a breakthrough tomorrow. God's work is often hidden, unfolding behind the scenes in ways you can't immediately perceive. But just because you can't see it doesn't mean it isn't happening. Trusting in His unseen plan is not about blind faith, it's about confident hope. It's about believing that the same God who has carried you through past struggles will continue to carry you now. He is faithful, and He is working all things together for your good, even in ways you cannot yet see. Letting go of stress allows you to focus on growth and becoming who God created you to be. Stress, though often unavoidable, can become a barrier that keeps you from realizing your true potential. It weighs you down, clouds your vision, and distracts you from the greater purpose God has designed for your life. But the moment you release that stress, when you stop letting it dominate your thoughts and actions, you make room for transformation. You shift your focus from merely surviving to thriving, from being consumed by worry to stepping into the fullness of who you are meant to be. Holding on to stress often feels like you're staying in control, but in reality, it keeps you stuck in a cycle of fear and frustration. It narrows your perspective, leaving little room for creativity, hope, or faith. But when you choose to let go, when you surrender your stress and trust that God is in control, you open the door to growth. This doesn't mean ignoring your challenges or pretending they don't exist. It means acknowledging them while also believing that they don't define you. God didn't create you to live a life dominated by stress. He created you for purpose, joy, and fulfillment. By releasing your worries to Him, you free yourself to focus on the path He's laid out for you. Stress is often tied to things we can't control, outcomes, opinions, or uncertainties. But growth comes when you shift your energy from what you can't control to what you can, your mindset, your choices, and your faith. Letting go of stress doesn't just lighten your load, it also clarifies your direction. When you're no longer consumed by what's weighing you down, you can begin to see the opportunities for personal and spiritual growth all around you. God uses every experience, including the difficult ones, to shape and refine you. But it's hard to recognize these lessons when your mind is preoccupied with stress. Letting go allows you to hear His voice more clearly and to follow His guidance more confidently. Releasing stress is an act of faith. It's a declaration that you trust God to handle what you cannot. And in doing so, you make space for His peace, wisdom, and strength to flow into your life. This peace doesn't mean the absence of challenges, but the presence of assurance that you are not facing them alone. As you let go, you begin to focus on becoming the person God created you to be, a person of resilience, purpose, and faith. God has a vision for your life that goes beyond the stress of the moment. Letting go doesn't mean giving up, it means giving in to His greater plan. It means trusting that He's working in your life, even through the struggles, to shape you into the best version of yourself. And when you let go, you step into the freedom and growth that comes from living in alignment with His purpose for you. Be still and know that I am God, a promise that He is handling what you cannot. These words, profound in their simplicity, carry an assurance that is both comforting and transformative. And to be still is not a call to inaction, but an invitation to surrender, to pause amidst life's chaos and recognize the sovereignty of God. It is a reminder that the burdens we carry, the battles we fight, and the worries that consume us are not meant to be shouldered alone. This promise reassures us that while we may feel overwhelmed by life's challenges, God is already at work orchestrating solutions and outcomes far beyond our understanding. Being still requires a conscious decision to let go of control, to release the urge to fix everything on our own. In a world that glorifies busyness and self-reliance, this can feel counterintuitive, even uncomfortable. Yet it is in the stillness that we find clarity, peace in the presence of God. To know that He is God is to trust that His power is limitless, His wisdom perfect, and His timing flawless. It's a declaration that the Creator of the universe, who holds the stars in place, also holds your life in His hands. This promise is not an escape from responsibility, but an encouragement to approach life with faith instead of fear. It doesn't mean that challenges will disappear instantly, but it does mean that you don't have to face them alone. God's strength is made perfect in our weakness, and his plans are always for our good, even when we cannot yet see the full picture. When you allow yourself to be still, you create space for God to move, to intervene in ways that only he can. To be still and know God is to shift your perspective. It's a call to stop striving in your own strength and start relying on his. Often we exhaust ourselves trying to control outcomes, fearing the unknown, or carrying burdens that were never ours to bear. But this promise reminds us that God is not asking for our perfection or endless effort. He's asking for our trust. When we rest in him, we demonstrate our faith in his ability to handle what is beyond our capacity. This act of stillness also deepens our relationship with him. It's in these quiet moments of surrender that we come to truly know his character, his faithfulness, love, and unwavering commitment to his promises. It's where we experience his peace, a peace that surpasses all understanding and guards our hearts and minds, even in the midst of trials. The promise to be still and know that he is God is both a comfort and a challenge. It's a comfort in knowing that you are never alone and that your struggles are not unnoticed. It's a challenge to step back, release control and trust in the unseen hand of God at work in your life. In this stillness, you find strength, clarity, and a renewed sense of purpose, knowing that he is handling what you cannot. In life's storms, stress and uncertainty often cloud our path, but God's promise remains steadfast. He is handling what you cannot, working in ways unseen to bring peace, growth, and purpose into your life. By releasing your burdens and trusting in his plan, you open yourself to transformation and clarity. Surrender is not weakness, but faith in action, a recognition that his strength is made perfect in your struggles. Be still and know that he is God. Let this truth anchor your heart. You are not alone, and his power is at work, guiding you toward the life he created you to live.